Hey, I think we're live. So do you want to share your screen so we can see your first slide? Okay, perfect. Thanks for joining, everyone. We're just going to wait another minute for a few more to join us before we start. Thank you. All right, I think we can start. So hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to some of you. Thanks so much for joining us today for the Voca CIC Now Certified, Unify Certified for Microsoft Teams Contact Centers webinar. My name is Amy, and I'll be your host for today. So I will go through a few housekeeping notes before we kickstart today's session. So if you're experiencing any problems with the audio or visual, please let me know in the Q&A part of this our session. This will also be, our forms of communication where you can ask questions throughout today's session regarding the topics. So we will be addressing these questions as we go along. And if we happen to not be able to get to your question in time, we will be following up with you later on after the session. The session is recorded, so a link to the recording and a copy of the presentation will be shared with you within a week's time. And for today, we have with us Gidi Adlersberg and Manoj Priyankara. Gidi is our head of Voca CIC business line based in Israel, and Manoj is our head of solutions architecture for APAC based in Melbourne. I'm sure some of you have already met them in person before, but if not, I hope you'll enjoy today's presentation from them. So without further ado, I'd like to now pass the stage to Gidi to kick off today's webinar. Please, Gidi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Amy. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today. Just 1 second, I want to turn off my camera so the content takes the full screen. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for joining us in today's session. A lot of what we're going to talk about today will be related to the new Unify certification model for Microsoft Teams contact centers. Voca is one of the first, actually the second contact center solution in the world to be certified for the Unify integration model. So we're going to talk a lot about that and what that means for you and for us as a contact center solution. With that, also a lot about AI in Voca CIC. So everything we're doing already today with AI, things we are soon releasing, but also things that we are planning for the longer term. And after all that, we're going to take this beyond slides. So I have the privilege to be joined today by Manoj, who will be covering live demos of all the capabilities that we'll be talking about here, covering them live real world use cases. So without further ado, let's get started. Those of you who've watched our webinars in the past, you know that we always like to start from a quick snapshot of kind of where we are, what are the forces that are driving our industry, the contact center area, and so on. So we always like to start from that. And these days, and this has been something that's been kind of continuously evolving for the past few years. Everything that's going on in the contact center space is affected by two key kind of trends or movements in the market. The first one is cloud migration. So I know that a lot of us tend to think that all the contact centers are already on the cloud and cloud migration is completed. However, we can see that, and this is a data point from just under a year ago, less than a year ago, that shows that actually, as of November, last November, we have more than 50% of contact centers still on their way to cloud migration or CCaaS refresh, as this survey calls it. There is no doubt the trend is to refresh to the cloud. We can see a clear uptick on a refresh to CCaaS, to a contact center as a service that's provided from the cloud. And we can also see the very clear decline in on-prem. So the main switch is to cloud. And then we also have some enterprises that go for a hybrid architecture where some elements of the contact center stay on-prem, others are provided from the cloud. Nevertheless, still a long way to go when it comes to cloud refresh. And many of you here today and many end customers out there, enterprises out there, are still en route to make that migration to the cloud when it comes to contact center. Then with that, of course, is, and I'm sure you did not expect us to not talk about the rise of AI, and we can clearly see AI also being a very significant trend in the contact center space. Okay, so if we quickly analyze this data point, what we're seeing is contact center infrastructure, CCI stands for contact center infrastructure. That's constantly on the decline, directly related, by the way, to the migration to the cloud. As we're switching to cloud, there's more efficient infrastructure, less need to buy more infrastructure. But then we are seeing a very healthy growth, more than 20% year-over-year growth in CCaaS license consumption, again, directly related to cloud migration. But then, of course, the key driver in the contact center space these days is generative AI and AI solutions, which, as you can see, are almost doubling themselves each and every year. So definitely CCaaS migration and AI, two key primary trends in the contact center area. Pretty much everything that's going on in the industry is somehow related to one of these two, or potentially both of them at once. However, if we zoom in a bit on what's really going on these days with AI, we're seeing a very interesting gap in the market. A gap between the level of interest in AI, which is very significant. I'm sure you know, we don't need to tell you how much AI is being talked about and how much buzz there is around AI. But at the same time, when we look at the level of actual investments in AI, we're seeing a very interesting gap between the very high level of interest to actual investments being made. So this data point is actually just from last week, fresh numbers from Piper Sandler, a pretty known investment bank in the United States. And we can see the gap between cases where there was interest but no bookings yet, or no actual investment just yet in AI, versus cases where the level of interest came with actual investment. Okay, and I'm sure this is kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to AI, and I'm sure you are all feeling that gap, the gap again between the level of interest to actually, okay, I'm going to make an investment, I'm going to buy, implement, and utilize AI for the long run. Now, when we come to try to explain where this gap is coming from, lately there's been there's been a lot of buzz around this new MIT research that was released just in August and was first published by Forbes, but then also got picked up by many tech publications out there. It was a very disruptive research because, according to MIT, 95% of AI pilots actually fail. Okay, and again, I'm confident that this is something that many of you here in the audience can relate to. AI is extremely accessible. It's pretty easy to use. So it's pretty easy. It's fairly easy to get going with an AI pilot. But does it really work? Is it going to provide the outcome that the enterprise is looking for? Actually, in 95% of the cases, the answer is a big no. Now, when we want to identify why these AI pilots are failing, the MIT research and the Forbes article point out a bunch of factors. Here, I wanted to focus on the key factors that, end of the day, fail these AI pilots and prevent us from succeeding with AI. So the first issue with these AI projects is they do not focus on tangible use cases, okay? So one of the things that we always talk about around AI is how important it is to be practical about AI, okay? So while the technology can, technology can make a big promise of solving many different use cases, if not all of the use cases in some cases, what we are seeing is when we confine AI to specific tangible use cases where the return on investment is clear and tangible, that's where the AI pilots or POCs are much more likely to succeed. Another point is the level of reliability of the technology. Okay, so again, AI technology is very accessible. We have everything from cloud services to on-prem AI large language models that, again, can reside completely on-prem. Some of them are open source, so very easy for every developer out there to put their hands on AI technology. But are they making the right technology choice, the right vendor choice when it comes to AI solutions? That's not always the case. That can be a big obstacle when we're talking about successful AI deployments. And lastly, is just the continuous oversight and optimization of what we are doing with AI. I can tell you, as you know, Voca, when we are doing those AI POCs, they are never perfect on day one or day two of the pilot. So there's an inherent native component of first deploying, starting to use AI, and very quickly using data that surfaces from the POC to continuously optimize the performance of the AI deployment. And that's something we will talk more about, the delivery aspects in Voca, and us providing Voca as part of a managed service. But definitely that's where a managed service and close support in the POC process becomes critical in being able to understand the customer needs and being able to optimize the AI deployment to fit these needs. Again, it's never perfect in the first day or first minute of use. And the real success lies in being able to continuously learn and optimize how the AI deployment is working. So now that we talked a bit about things that, again, I'm sure we are all feeling, the promise of AI, the migration to the cloud, but also the challenges with AI deployments, let's take a step back and let's talk about Voca and how all of these ties, end of the day, directly to the Voca solution. So few things that kind of as a background that we felt that are important for you to know about Voca CIC. First of all, we are a pretty new modern solution in the market. We've been around for just under 3 years now. But in those 3 years, we've acquired more than 150 enterprise customers worldwide. Some of them are really known, large global brands, Fortune 50, Fortune 100 companies. Some are smaller ones, but a very significant enterprise customer base that's spread worldwide. Obviously, a lot of focus on the Microsoft ecosystem. Very important for our customers to know that when they go for a solution like Voca, they go for a Microsoft certified solution. Of course, we will zoom into the Unify integration model soon, but nevertheless, important to know that it's a Microsoft certified solution, and also it's a Mac eligible solution. So for any of you who have agreements with Microsoft, Azure consumption agreements, when you buy Voca, that can retire the quota of those agreements, something that our enterprise base really likes to know. Also, as part of AudioCodes, and we will talk about this as we move on, Voca supports all the calling methods of Microsoft Teams phone. So direct routing, operator connect, and calling plans. And of course, us as you know, part of the AudioCodes ecosystem, we have the luxury of leveraging the AudioCodes Session Border Controller, the AudioCodes SBC, which is a market-leading solution, and of course, Operator Connect. So AudioCodes is also powering many service providers out there with enabling them to provide their own Operator Connect service. Also, lately, we've announced our own AudioCodes Operator Connect program. So a lot of not just application contact center expertise that we have, but also the enterprise voice and Teams phone expertise that we bring to the table. A lot of AI and omni-channel, so we will talk a lot about AI shortly. Pretty much everything we got around conversational AI in Voca CIC, and we will also showcase our omni-channel or digital customer experience capabilities later when we do the live demos. Open CRM and third-party bot integration, really important to note that with Voca, we are taking an open platform approach that basically allows you to connect any CRM that you have that has APIs that we are able to integrate with. You are able to integrate any CRM that you have around with to Voca CIC. In some cases, we're seeing enterprises with one CRM. Sometimes there can be three to five CRMs. And if we're talking about a very large enterprise, it can sometimes be between 5 to 10 different CRM systems in the enterprise. So very important to know that Voca is able to integrate with all of them based on APIs. And the same goes with bot integration. So bots are also becoming a pretty fragmented space. There are a lot of bot providers out there, each with its own expertise for its own specific domain. From everything from Copilot, which is a more generic bot from Microsoft, to very specific bots that an enterprise may use. And we will talk about the advantages of integrating those third-party bots with a CCaaS solution like Voca. So here we're just focusing on the open platform aspect of being able to work with any CRM or any bot by leveraging their APIs. And lastly, a very simple three-tier commercial model. which we will also show very briefly towards the end of the session. Microsoft Unify Certified, and of course, we are actually the next topic, we're going to zoom in a lot on what that means, the newest Microsoft certification model for a Teams contact center. Cloud service that is delivered from more than 10 Azure regions worldwide, so North America, Europe, India, Asia Pacific, so very extensive worldwide cloud coverage, and also very extensive security and compliance coverage, which don't need to get into right now, but of course, an enterprise-grade solution that meets all the security, data protection, and compliance aspects you would expect. One last thing before we start to zoom in on Unify and AI, we are very proud to have won 2 awards in the last summer. So we were selected for the 2nd year straight as the best Microsoft Teams contact center solution by UC Today, 2nd year in a row for that award. And also last summer, we won for the first time, we won the award of the best CX deployment, which for us is a proof that we don't only know how to build a good solution, but we definitely also have a very rich experience in how to make a successful implementation, deployment, and delivery of that solution. Okay, let's talk about the Unify integration model. So for some of you, those of you who are more into the Microsoft ecosystem, you probably already heard and learned about the Unify integration model. Some of you might remember what was known as power model. So just to refresh our memory, when we talk about contact center integration to Microsoft Teams Phone, we are talking about 3 integration models: Connect, which is a C-based integration; Extend, which is an integration that's based on Graph API; and then Unify, which was formerly known as Power Model. So in Unify, what we are doing is we are leveraging a new framework from Microsoft called Teams Phone Extensibility. Teams Phone Extensibility is a framework for connecting any third-party application into the Teams Phone ecosystem. And then Unify is the contact center integration model that's part of Teams Phone Extensibility. And so, again, as Voca CIC, we have been using the technology elements of the Unify integration model actually from our first day in the market, again, just under 3 years ago. We've already used the SDKs and APIs from Azure Communication Services, the same ones, by the way, that operate the Teams client, okay? So it's important to note, and you will soon see it in Manoj's demo, every call that's being made on the Voca Agent desktop application is a call that's handled exactly like any other Microsoft Teams call or Microsoft Teams meeting, okay? So again, we've been using this technology from our first day in the market, and now kind of Microsoft making it official with the Unify integration model. Now, what does it actually mean, the Unify integration model? So first, just a quick flow on a high level. Again, the idea is, of course, to support all the calling methods that Microsoft Teams Phone offers, but then use components from Microsoft, and namely call automation and the calling SDK, to bring a call from Teams Phone to Voca CIC with Microsoft native APIs and SDKs. And what are the main advantages of this? First, it's the one-screen contact center experience, and that's really important. You know, some agents in the Teams contact center world prefer to just use the Teams client because they have simpler use cases, but some are high-capacity, full-time contact center agents that require a full agent desktop application. By using the calling SDK that's part of the Unify integration model, we are able to provide a very rich agent desktop application. But again, from a media handling standpoint, the actual media start, stays, and end completely in Teams phone. The direct business outcome of this is, of course, uptime and reliability, which we will soon move to talk also about a lot about AI. And there's a lot of shiny features in the contact center space, but before everything, reliability is a key factor, right? So before everything, the contact center has to be up and running and ready to receive calls. The biggest, in my view, the biggest advantage of the Unify integration model is inheriting the 5.9 uptime that comes as a native capability of Microsoft Teams Phone. So not every contact center in the world can say that they have 5.9 uptime for voice interactions, but again, with Voca being Unify Certified, leveraging the Microsoft SDKs and APIs natively in the agent desktop application, we have that 5.9 uptime, just like any other Teams call or Teams meeting. Then, of course, it's AI services that are ready to use from day one, and we will soon show what that means. But from a Unify integration standpoint, what's important to understand is there are many ways to fulfill AI services. Each vendor, before the Unify integration, it was kind of left for the vendor to decide how exactly they're going to use the AI services. With Teams Phone extensibility and the Unify integration model, Microsoft now has set standards and guidelines for how to consume the AI services in a reliable way, in a predictable way. Again, just guaranteeing that those AI services will actually contribute and benefit to the contact center deployments out there. And lastly, it's just the ease of deployment and management of the solution, again, as a native part of Teams Phone. So again, for us as Voca, this Unify certification is proof of a very a kind of modern, forward-looking technology choice that we have made almost 3 years ago by now. And today, this has become the newest, shiniest, and the most capable way to integrate a contact center with Microsoft Teams Phone. I want to start to zoom in about AI and to talk about all the AI kind of capabilities that we are providing as of today with Voca, but also a future capability that we'll be launching very soon, and then a bit of a roadmap around AI. So there's a lot of AI use cases that we can talk about. We feel like, with respect to many advanced use cases that, we always, there's a tendency to always, when we are exposed to a new technology, it's very tempting to immediately think about how do I solve the most advanced use cases with it. But actually, our favorite thing to do with AI is to take the good old press 1, press 2, press 3 IVR and turn that into an AI-driven conversational interface. Okay, so when we look out there in the field, we're still seeing that so many companies out there, we call up their main line, they still use a very outdated DTMF or touchtone IVR interfaces. And it's actually very easy these days to upgrade them to a conversational AI-driven experience. So with Voca CIC, to be able to do AI call steering is really a built-in, completely built-in capability. So it has a multi-language conversational interface that understands natural language. Also very important is our experience in speech-to-text in conversational AI technologies that gives us more unique capabilities in being able to cope with contact names or specific brand names, locations, different terminology that might not be part of a general dictionary. We have a lot of expertise and knowledge how to deal with those, what we like to call custom vocabulary terms, be able to recognize them, turn them into an actionable routing decision. Now, the great thing about AI call steering is that if we think about a company with tens, hundreds, or sometimes even thousands of different destinations, with a conversational interface, we are able to bring a caller directly to the right place, even if it's a very specific place in the enterprise, okay? So we are not limited with a rigid DTMF IVR menu, and we are able to bring the caller straight to where they need. Then for more complex use cases, we have for virtual agent use cases, we have the Voca Flow Designer, where we do have a lot of automation, conversational AI, integration capabilities with third-party bots, CRMs, and also routing, of course, routing capabilities to the contact center, but also SMS automation. So all the Voca virtual agents that you will see in our demo shortly, all of them are end of the day built in this Flow Designer. From a conversational AI standpoint, very flexible speech-to-text interface where we can deal with completely free speech, and you will see it again soon in Manoj's demo. But also, if we want to focus on specific keywords in the flow, or if we want to collect someone's ID, passport number, or any other more unique identifier, all of that can be done over speech, as well as, of course, reading out information to the caller, and it can be dynamic information that comes from the CRM. We are able to read that out to the caller using text-to-speech services. All of that comes completely built in to the Voca solution. Then, of course, we have an OpenAI integration that allows us to take these IVAs a step beyond and start to harness large language model technology to bring a very modern, naturally sounding bot experience to Voca CIC. Again, you will soon see it in Manoj's demo. The great advantage with bringing this kind of experience to a vehicle like Voca is the ability to escalate a bot flow to a live agent, be able to hunt the live agent based on their availability and expertise, and of course to provide an end-to-end picture of the entire journey of the caller from the bot to the live agent, all in a single pane of glass, being able to troubleshoot the bot within Voca. So all of that is something that we're offering, again, as part of the Flow Designer, and Manoj will show you that in action shortly. Then we are soon releasing a new AI capability that that is an AI that we call Agent Insights, which is a transcription, AI summary, and sentiment analysis of the contact center calls. It starts from built-in recording, where we are able to target specific cues and control what exactly gets recorded, inbound or outbound, and so on. And then it moves to just making the AI summary a natural component of a wrap-up workflow for the agent, not a siloed experience, not something that's provided separately from the agent desktop, but something that's designed exactly like another wrap-up event. So familiar interface for the agent, and a lot of controls over what the agent can do or cannot do. Can they edit a transcript or a summary or not? Can they send it to the CRM or not? So a lot of control that we give to the admin on what agents can do. with the AI outcomes. And then for me, the coolest thing that we are doing with Agent Insights is providing the admin with the ability to create their own custom summaries. So every contact center desk needs a bit of a different summary. If you're an IT help desk, you need something that looks more like a ticket summary. Maybe you are a sales desk, and then you need something that looks more like, a deal status summary. So with Agent Insights, we are going to allow you, the customers, it will come with a predefined a set of a summary templates, but you will also be able to build your own custom AI summaries and be able to listen in to specific inputs or give a specific structure to the summary that's of interest to a specific contact center desk. Then from the agent point of view, again, like I said, it's just a natural part of the agent workflow. So they finish a call, they get the AI wrap-up view, they can edit, if we gave them permission, they can edit the summary, they see the sentiment. They are also able to add their own live agent notes. So that was very important for us to show the agent, with all the respect to AI summary, we still want to get the human input that, in many cases, the live agent, the human agent will have inputs that the AI will not bring. And so we definitely make sure that we allow the agent to add their own inputs. And then in one click of a button, all of that information gets populated straight to the CRM. So this is Agent Insights, and this is a capability that we'll be launching within the queue. So stay tuned for that, and you're welcome to be in touch with your local AudioCodes representative to be amongst the first to try this out as part of a POC. And again, just note the practical aspects of what we're offering around AI. So we started from AI call steering, from taking press 1, press 2, press 3 to a conversational interface. Then we talked about large language models, generative AI, open AI integration for more advanced virtual agents. And here we're talking about the post-call experience. But all of this overall, all of these capabilities are very practical capabilities that you can start leveraging the minute you start working with Voca. Moving forward, we are working on also adding real-time AI agent assist to the Voca application, and also making it easier to bring subject matter experts to the call using AI, being able to hunt not only other agents that are part of the queue, but also other experts in the company that can take part in the service case. And again, for us, it's really the combination of, Voca as a contact center solution with a very tight integration to Teams and AI that's end of the day providing a very high quality customer experience for you and for your customers. Before I end, I felt it's important to remind that as AudioCodes, we do have the widest portfolio in the industry of Microsoft certified solutions. So everything from session border controllers, IP phones, meeting room devices, compliance recording, and contact center. We have all of that Microsoft certified, and also as part of Live platform and our Teams phone migration capabilities, we have a very unique expertise of being a vendor and a managed service provider that can empower, that can deliver these services to end customers, but also to empower channel partners in being able to deliver the service on their own. Nevertheless, in any case, it all comes as a single vendor offering from us for Teams phone and customer experience with a very unique expertise in both enterprise voice and contact center. All of the Voca solution, I quickly mentioned this in the beginning, is provided in a very simple 3-tier commercial model, which we will not get into today, but generally speaking, very simple commercial model that allows you to addresses the most popular use cases in the space, allows you to choose your flavor, what works best for you. And so very easy commercial model with full predictability, no open-ended pay-as-you-go costs, so allows you to plan your budgets and know what to expect. And lastly, for those of you who are channel partners, another award that we did not win, but were highly commended for, is us being able to partner, and in this case, it was about the AT&T partnership. Just know that Voca is very much channel partner ready. So Voca is a multi-tier and multi-tenant solution, which allows channel partners out there to be very flexible with how they provide the service onwards to their end customers. A lot of freedom on how you allocate licenses, how you can float licenses between the tenants and so on. For those of you channel partners in this session, feel free to contact us to learn more about our multi-tier, multi-tenant capabilities, and also official training that we offer for channel partners in being able to resell and provide services for Voca CIC. And with that, just before I go, I want to show you a 1-minute video of the Voca solution and what we're offering as part of it. And from there, we'll pass it to Manoj for some live demos. Okay, so with that, I want to pass the ball to Manoj, again, to take us beyond the slides for some live real-world demos of our capabilities. Manoj?
Thanks, Gidi. Moment of truth. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining. Let's go through some of the, just a few demo use cases to show the capabilities a little bit. Let me just make my screen. All right, hope everyone can see my screen. Basically, we'll have 3 different demo cases. The first one is around voice, but how to bring virtual agent capabilities, especially OpenAI from Azure, CRM integration, and also routing the calls based on the intent, that sort of things. The second one will be around digital channels, so omni-channel, so web chat, SMS, and email integration. The third one is around reporting capabilities and also how you can actually export data for your own reporting tools like Power BI. So that's the structure of the demonstrations. All right, the first one, I'll just set the stage right. So what we are going to do or show here is a university student losing the library card, reaching out to the contact center, which is Voca in this case. And then the first call resolution is done by actually virtual agent using OpenAI. And as Gidi mentioned, as a company, we spent so much. We have invested quite a lot in AI, conversational AI, optimizing, bringing the best voice to speech to text, etc. So you will see, how it looks like. So basically, the AI agent is answering naturally to the student, and then if the student says, okay, no, I want to talk to someone, and then it'll invoke the CRM. In this case, I've just used HubSpot, very easy to integrate with through the REST API as well as through iframe. And then when the agent, which is library staff in this case, when she receives the call, she will get the insights of what happened before between the virtual agent and the student, as well as the CRM data of that student. So you'll see how it works. Let me run through that demo. I will go off the presentation. So this is the Voca worker or the agent application, very similar to any other application. But in the backend, as Gidi mentioned, this is a Microsoft Teams user. So there are different channels here. Of course, you can see the voice channel, email, web chat, etc. So in this case, it's a voice channel. So let me just make the call.
Welcome to the Blue Wave Institute. How can I help you today?
Hi, I lost my library card. How can I get a replacement?
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. To get a replacement library card, you usually need to visit the library's help desk or check their website for specific instructions. They might ask for some identification, so it's good to have that handy. Would you like more details on where to go or what to bring?
I only have my driver's license. Is that okay?
Yes, a driver's license should be fine. It's a valid form of identification. Just take it with you when you go to get your replacement card. If you need anything else or have more questions, feel free to ask.
Do you know normally how long they take to issue the replacement?
Typically, getting a replacement card is pretty quick, often done on the spot. You might get it the same day, but it can vary. It's best to check directly with the library staff when you're there, just to be sure. Do you need help with anything else?
Yeah, can you please connect me to someone from the library team? I would like to talk to them, please.
Sure, I can help with that. Could you please provide me with your student ID, first name, and last name before I transfer you?
10305, Michael Bublé.
Connecting you to the library team. Welcome to the Blue Wave Library team. Someone will be with you shortly.
I just muted the call, but basically you saw the journey between the virtual agent and the student. And then when the call is getting transferred to the agent, in this case, we are giving the summary of what happened and also the next recommended action, capturing the data that I mentioned, like the student ID, first name, last name, and also it's selecting the skill, in this case, library general skill, based on the intent. Now all these, this part of the screen, you can build. You can actually get the summary the way you want. You can prompt. So the whole, the summary is generated by OpenAI, in this case from Azure. You can prompt the way you want. If you want a different summary, you can actually prompt it and then populate on the agent desktop. So all these are configurable based on the call flow requirements. And then what you see below is the CRM. We can also pull the CRM onto the same screen. So in this case, Michael Bublé's account, the student's account. So there are two ways we can populate or bring the CRM. So you can bring them as an iframe on the same screen, or you can actually open it as a separate tab, because some of these CRMs don't necessarily support iframe. So in that case, you can open them as a separate tab. Now, once the agent completes the call, agent can select a wrap-up code. For an example, CRM update in this case. So it'll disconnect the call to the user, but it'll give the agent enough time to wrap the call up. So these codes can be configured. The time set can be set up based on the administrator's requirement. When I finish this, I just finish it up. All right, so I'm ready for the next call. So that's, is a simple call flow, but as you can see, it's there's quite a bit of technology behind that in this call flow: CRM integration, OpenAI integration, and also passing information to the agent, bring the CRM on the screen, that sort of things. The next use case I'm going to show you is, actually, we'll have 3 use cases wrapped. Let me just sub the screens. Okay, the student can actually also reach out to the contact center or the staff through other channels too. So one of the channels is SMS. The other one is web chat and also email. So I'll go one by one and show the experience. So Voca actually routes the interactions also based on context. For an example, the subject of the email, you can route the call to the right skill. The selection of the web chat reasons, the content of the SMS, and that sort of things. On the web chat, it's very easy integration. When you configure the web chat widget or widgets on the contact center, you will get a small JavaScript code. Or what you have to do is provide that to the customer's IT team so that they can embed the web chat widget. All right, so let's go and have a look at how that works. So I'll start from web chat. For that, we have mocked up a sample web page. So if I go to contact us section, so you can see the chat with us web chat. So let's start a web chat. So by the way, these fields can be configurable. You can select what fields you want, what are the mandatory fields, and all sort of things. I'll give my name. And then my student ID if needed, 10305, and a reason. So Sydney campus. I lost my card, need a replacement. Okay, so I start the web chat, and if I go back to the agent, so I'm getting the web chat through this call queue. I just answer, and then it'll populate under me very soon. So I can go and start responding. So when you respond, there are multiple ways you can respond. So frequent responses, you can template them as conversation templates. So thanks for reaching out, for example, you can select that and then send through, just to save time from the agent. Now, if you go back to the customer screen, you can see that. Very simple. And you can also add emojis if needed, or attach documents. It's just bidirectional web chat. So let me just end this conversation. So when you end the conversation, you can also select a wrap-up code, and it'll give the agent time to wrap this interaction. So if I just select CRM update, it'll give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And then when I finish, I just finish the interaction. Now on the customer side, it is completed from the agent side. So I can do 2 things. I can just end the conversation, or I can select to receive the transcript. So I can just put a email address here. And then I can get the transcript. So that's web chat. Very easy integration. So this, we can just give the, as I said, JavaScript. You just have to embed that on the customer's web interface. The other one is email. I sent through some emails before. So let's go to the agent's desktop again. So I was off the email interaction call queue. So I'm going to make myself available now. so that I can start receiving emails. So I had some emails on the queue, so I can just click to answer. So it will come up here. Okay, you can do a few things. If this email is meant for someone else, you can forward that, or you can assign it to a different call queue or email queue, or you can select to respond. Now, when you respond, very similar to web chat, you can select conversation templates, like common responses. You can just select them, or you can type. You can you can modify this after that, and then you send the email. When you send the email or response, you can again select a wrap-up code. So in this case, I'll select this one, and it'll give me enough time to wrap up and finish the interaction. I will quickly also show web chat because I think it's worthwhile showing web chat, SMS. So let me share my phone screen. So you see what I do. It's coming up. All right, so let's go to SMS. New one. Okay, SMS. Password reset. Okay, I need my password to be reset. Okay, so you can configure like a menu, like a DTMF menu, you can configure this menu. So I'm going to select number 2 because I'm from Australia. And then it's security related because my password is not working. I'm going to select 2. After that, the agent is receiving the interaction. It's bidirectional. So if I go to chat, I can start, responding. Hi, what's your student ID? So I will receive that here, 10305, etc., etc. So it's bidirectional, very similar to web chat. So once I'm done, I can also select conversation templates for regular ones. So thanks for reaching out. And then I can send that. And then I can end the conversation with a wrap-up code or just without wrap-up. So that's digital channels. I will also briefly go through a few more use cases or demonstrations. So one of them is reporting capabilities. So I wanted to show you one very important report. So if I go to let's put this. Yeah, let me log in to Voca admin user interface. So this is the admin user interface. So, but I'm going to show you something very important under the reports. So there are multiple sections. You can generate reports based on the call queues, contact center. If you go to contact center, you have a bunch of reports based on different modalities or channels, voice, email, chat, etc. So what I'm going to show you is the Journey Manager. Let's generate this report. Okay, I want to show you a special record. Let's go here. Now here you can see the entire journey of the call. So if I just expand this, now this whole thing is the communication between Voca Flow Designer and OpenAI in this case. So you can see what happened, what's the transcript, what's the response, very good for troubleshooting what happened. If you want to fine tune the AI agent, all sort of things. So you can see pretty much everything here. And then call queues, which call queue it went through to, who was the agent, how many how many calls were there, what's the position, how many agents were there, was it accepted? So this is pretty much giving you the full journey of the call, including the REST API integrations, AI integrations, and everything. So that's reporting. Gidi also suggested we show how to get this data out from the contact center. So we have a reporting API. So you can pull data or you can push data to Azure Blob Storage. So what I'm going to show you is how you do that. Go to System Settings and then Data Export. So there are two ways you can do data export. One is bring your own storage. If you are security concerned, you can get the customer to bring their own storage. That's what I have done here. Or you can store here and then pull data through the REST API. But in this case, I'm actually pushing data to Azure Blob Storage. So if I go to the blob, this is how you see them. So the frequency, in the frequency we configure here, Voca will be reporting or pushing all the reports to the blob storage. I also downloaded one set of reports here. So if I go here, so these are some of the reports. They're very detailed. You can use Power BI for an example or any other BI tool. So you can massage them the way you want, create your own reports, etc., etc. So, very detailed reports. So that's data export. You can pull the data the same way through the API. So depending on what exactly you want to do, which method your customer wants. So that actually wraps my section up. So just to summarize, we covered integration with OpenAI, bring your own AI for an example, CRM integration, intent-based skill selection, because we select the skill based on the intent come from OpenAI, web chat, SMS, email, and a little bit of reporting capabilities. So with that, I will hand it back to Gidi.
Thank you, Manoj. Actually, we were going to pass it back to Amy to wrap us up here.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you, Gidi and Manoj, for such an insightful webinar today. Thank you for the demo. We actually got quite a few questions, so thank you, Gidi, for answering those live for us. So if we didn't manage to actually get to your question today, we will be following up with you later on, just in case just so you can get the answer from us afterwards. So before I close today's session, I do want to ask all of you to help us out with our feedback. We'd like to know how we did today. So I did send in the chat and the Q&A a link to our survey. So it would be great if you guys can all fill that out for us so we know how we did. And then so also we would also understand how we can do better next time and what other topics you may be interested in. And do note that if you do enter a submission, we are happy to enter you into a lucky draw for a gift voucher later on. So we would appreciate your comments. And just to remind you again, we will be sharing a copy of today's presentation and the recording within a week's time. So if you don't hear from us within a week, just check in your junk mail just in case it might have fallen in there. And thank you so much to our presenters once again, and we hope to see you all again at our future webinars. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Amy, you still here?
Yes, I'm still here. just waiting for everyone to take some time to get the link of our survey.